Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now, I'm back from my holly bums, back from Portugal. I managed to do some nice reviews over there, so I will be editing them and they'll be coming out in the next few weeks. Should be quite good and interesting. But today we're doing a beer that is a new beer. It's not that long launched. I ordered it a couple of weeks back, pre-order, and it took them ages to get it out to me. Yeah, I would probably say it was almost 2 weeks before they actually got it out to me. Which, I don't know, maybe the response was so big, but at the end of the day, you think they would have been prepared for it, but apparently not. So obviously, by the time I did get it, it was too late for me to review before I went away on holiday. So this is me now finally getting round to it now that I'm back. So today we're doing the new beer from Fuller's, which is Griffin Gold. Now, I'm dubious about it. I'm dubious about it because, okay, they've got their organic golden ale, which is okay, if you get over the organic bit and all that nonsense. Funny enough, this isn't organic apparently, you know, because organic's so important and everything else, but this one isn't. Strange that, isn't it? God, I'm going to have problems reading this as well. But anyway, so to cut a long story short, apparently light, refreshing, zesty golden ale. Apparently, it's 3.4%. It's quite down. It's supposed to be, you know, I presume it's going to be easy drinking at that kind of alcohol content. It's 500ml. I'm trying to remember what I paid for it now. If they'd actually maybe delivered it sooner than I actually did it before I went on holiday, they could probably have told you, but so many of these things have happened and gone through my head and everything else in relation to beer prices that I forget. So I will put it down below in the beer facts, but good start. But there is some spiel in the back. Right, here we go. God. Savour the day with our Griffin Golden Ale, or Griffin Golden Ale, okay. It's because it's in gold and it's very hard. You can see it's a kind of contrast between the bloody green and the gold. It's very difficult to actually make out the words. Pale and Cara Gold malt, harmonised with Hallertau tradition, Cascade and Citra hops, experience crisp bitterness complemented by a burst of citrus and pine. And that's where I went, oh God, because I'm not a big fan of pine and flavour in beer, as I've said before. I mean, I don't want my beer to ever resemble toilet cleaner, either by aroma or by taste. And before you're thinking, oh, do you drink a lot of toilet cleaner? How do you know what it tastes like? I imagine just by the smell it'll probably be quite similar, just with a lot more burn. Pine hit. Cara Gold gives body to the pale ale malt despite its low ABV. And there you go. Living that dream, aren't we? Right, well, I might as well get poured and see what it's got to do. Marvellous, this, isn't it? God, what a shit. Anyway, one thing I did notice when I was on holiday, which I found refreshing, is actually kind of going into restaurants where, see, we're in Porto and it's touristy, but not as touristy as other areas like the Algarve and things like that, or other areas in Europe like in Spain and things like that. So It's more kind of city break kind of territory, but with really, really nice weather, you know, that type of thing. Yeah, bit of history and everything else. But what I liked was going into restaurants and then basically not pretending it's homemade, but actually saying, yes, it's made by a very experienced chef in a very well designed and modern commercial kitchen. So everything was more from that kind of point of view. They were more proud of that, yes, this is a commercial establishment, and everything about it reeks professionalism, from the quality of the design, the equipment, to the skill set and knowledge of the chefs involved. And I like that, because I'm getting really sick in the UK of going into places or people reviewing places. Oh yeah, it's home cooked. It's home cooked. So that's not a commercial kitchen in there then, is it? And them little kind of food standard stars in the window, is that related to his home address, is it? You know, or her home address, whoever the chef is. And I take it's not the chef, it's just a mother or a father, is it? I take it, you know, a good homely kind of meal, you know. So instead of just making it for the four of them round about the dinner table that evening, I thought, well, fuck it, I'll just make a whole bloody load of it and I'll just basically give it out to this restaurant to make, you know what I mean? It's just utter shit. If it's cooked in a commercial restaurant kitchen, it's not fucking homemade. And if it's cooked to any type of volume, it's not fucking homemade. Now you can say, oh, it's a homemade, I mean, it might be a homemade recipe, but even then, I'm sure it's been fucking adjusted, you know? So it was nice not to get that bullshit everywhere, that you get it on menus, you get it when people review it on YouTube and everything else. You think, who the fuck are you kidding? Seriously? It's like when they turn and say, oh, we all use the best ingredients, you know, when it comes to beer. You're thinking, yeah. And you're also fucking knowledgeable, like I've said, but of course, there's no such thing as a bad beer, is there? Uh-huh. Yeah, well, there you go. That disproves that bollocks as well, doesn't it? So there you go. So yeah, it was just nice to have people being kind of proud of actually being a commercial kitchen, you know, or a restaurant with a commercial kitchen, and a well-trained, experienced chef, or groups of chefs, or whatever, and things like that. And it's nice just not to get bullshit. And it seems to be that it's quite bad just now, because they've announced the general election, so of course it's wall-to-wall bullshit coming from all aspects. And then you start looking and thinking, you try and get away from it, and you start noticing there's so much bullshit everywhere else. It's unbelievable, the utter shit that people come out with, and how stupid they must think you are to believe that you believe their bullshit. I mean, it must be unbelievable. They think, oh, these dumb fucks will say any shit and they'll believe it. And I think that must be how a lot of people think, especially within business, within the media, especially within politics. I mean, Jesus. It's right now, it's wall-to-wall lies and the news right now, because it's basically, it's all about the election, and every time somebody from a political party opens their mouth, it's just sheer lies and bollocks coming out, you know. And it was a good quote, was Andrew Neil that actually turned around and did a good quote today. He says, it's the case of, when he did his first general election, there was all this pledges going forward, and he asked the person that was making all these pledges on behalf of that party, he said, do you honestly think you can actually deliver these promises? And he said to him, actually off camera, saying that no, these aren't promises, these are pledges. Whereas he actually thought a pledge is the same as a promise, which of course in English it used to mean that. Whereas a pledge now doesn't mean a promise. You know, I pledge to you, you know, whatever, my support or whatever, but you know, I'm promising you, you know, in a strong way, that type of stuff. Whereas pledges is a case of, well, we're pledging this is what we'd like to do, but there's no guarantee we're going to do it, because there's lots of things that can get in the way, like us changing our minds and us not bothering our arses and all that kind of stuff. So they seem to have identified and separated the word pledge from its association with the word promise. And so it's okay to pledge because you're not breaking any promises, because you're not making any promises. Pledging is just, well, we'll see what happens. You know, it's like that kind of thing. And it's just, it was nice to be away from the bullshit and the lies. It was just nice. I think that was probably the best part of the holiday, apart from the weather and other things I got up to. But it was just nice just to kind of, don't care, you know, that type of thing. Whereas you're back and it's just, oh God, seriously. But anyway, let's get this board because I'm rattling on here and you're probably getting sick of hearing me. You probably think this is part of a political broadcast or something. So there we go. There we go. It's all happening there. Look at that. Oh, pours like a pint of cider. So it is. Look at it. Look at that. Big neat pint of cider that is. It's strong bowl. Dry blackthorn. Cleans my toilet. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Yeah, for people in the podcast, it's absolutely clear, light golden colour, and it's got a head on it like woodpecker cider. Or Merrydown. Merrydown would be nice, wouldn't it? So yes, it's not got a really kind of hoppy head. It's... But anyway, I'm getting wee wafts as at this distance, so let's come a bit closer. Yeah, you're getting citrus. Yeah, not soon. Maybe slightly grapefruity, maybe, but it's just a kind of slightly indistinct citrus. Am I getting any malt? Maybe. Ever so slight syrupiness, that's all. Ever so slight. I mean, it really is very faded. Really, all you're just getting is this kind of nondescript kind of citrus aroma, and that's it. It could be construed as slightly grapefruity, but I can't say it's zesty because what does zesty actually smell like? I know what zest smells like from the fruit it comes from, you know, like an orange zest is not the same as a fucking lemon zest and everything else, or a lime or whatever. So to say something zesty is too generic. It doesn't actually really kind of say, well, yeah, it relates to a citrus fruit, but it doesn't really actually give us any details of which fruit it is, which of course is more descriptive and more accurate of the actual aroma. You can't say that with this. So yeah, not the best smell. And not the best looking beer either, let's be totally honest. But let's see what it tastes like. Oh, there's a bit of pine there. Yeah, a bit of pine, kind of from the middle of the mid tongue. Oh, getting at your leg. It's not the beer, honest. It's just don't wash. Although I might have found a use for this. You know, could wash myself down with it. Get rid of the nippies. Yeah, middle of the mid tongue, you're getting pine, and it's kind of moving on into the kind of back of the mouth, an aftertaste. Although it doesn't linger, which is quite good. So it's quite a quick finish. I'm not going to say completely clean, but it's a fairly quick finish, which is a good thing, because some of them flavours I don't want hanging about. In fact, I don't want them at all. But it is what it is. Body. It's lacking a bit of body, actually. I know they're going on about the Carrigold malt supposed to be giving body, even though it's a low. Well, I think they're trying to do a wee bit of kidology there, because it is lacking in body. The flavours and balance seems to be not too bad. There's a little bit of bitterness at the back end, but not that much. more of a pininess rather than a bitterness, which is a bit disappointing. Sweetness level, not too bad. Mouthfeel, again, not too bad, even though it does look a horrible looking pint, you know, let's be totally honest. I mean, Jesus. I've seen pints of tenants look better. And they're shit looking, let's be totally honest. They can be an absolute, they look a glass of piss halfway down a pint quite easily. And if anybody from Scotland says, oh, it's not like that, shut the fuck up. It bloody is. And who the hell are you kidding? Because I've had a few people on about tenants. Oh, what do you know about tenants? I've had one that was ranting and raving because he'd managed to watch my tenants review. Oh, and he was calling every name under the sun. Oh, what a fud. So he was, seriously. An arsehole. I quite enjoyed listening to it and that type of stuff. Absolute knob, you know, because you think must be an SNP supporting that, because obviously he can't see what's in front of him, you know. He's blinded by his own stupidity, you know, that type of thing, which is normal. You get a lot of that in the kind of in Scotland right now, whereas they want to believe something so much that even if they can actually see it's blatantly bullshit, oh, they'll still want to believe it, you know. It's that kind of thing, you know. It's just blind stupidity. And he had it because he was going on about how wonderful tenants was and how I was basically completely wrong and what the hell would I know and everything else. Yeah. You had to laugh at them, you know, because I don't like to be nasty to kind of dumb animals. Although it's probably derogatory to animals to actually refer to him as one. But anyway, this is a bit similar to a kind of pint of tenants look-wise, which is, I'll be totally honest, I never thought I would say about a Fuller's product. Jesus, what the fuck is going on with there? It's quite disappointing, to be totally honest. And the other thing that got me, I was looking at the Fuller's product range and I was thinking to myself, why do they go for a golden ale? They've got the wonderful organic golden ale, the kind of honeydew one, you know. And I was thinking, what made them go for another golden ale? Why would they want to repeat? You know, because they've already got a golden ale, unless they feel that the golden ale isn't good enough. Well, maybe they could have just improved it rather than bring out a new one. Or maybe they're bringing this one out and maybe eventually they're going to discontinue their wonderful organic golden ale. Maybe that's the case. But then I was looking at it, well, what does the product lineup actually need? I was kind of looking at it and thinking, well, looking at the Fuller's product, if it was me, what would I... So I passed it back with his fucking Astra again. Unbelievable. But anyway, I was thinking, what could I identify that's lacking in the Fuller's product lineup? And I came up with two quite straightforward ones. They were blatantly obvious to me. Maybe they might be to you, or maybe they aren't, I don't know. But the first thing I thought, mild. They don't have a mild in the lineup. And let's be totally honest. They make some good bitters, but they don't have a mild to go along with it. And bitter and mild tend to go hand in hand. So what's the point in having some nice bitters when you don't have a nice mild? And let's be totally honest, a nice pint of mild is lovely. I'll be totally honest, I enjoy a good pint of mild from cask or even from a bottle. And I'm thinking, I could have done with that before a golden ale. And then I thought, what else? Brown ale. Good brown ale as well. A brown ale and a mild, them two would go well together as well, and they would work well with the bitters and everything else, and it would have that kind of little kind of triangle of good traditional beers of the kind of slightly lighter variety. You know, you've got the darker beers like they've got the stout and the porter and everything else. They could have maybe done an oatmeal or even a milk stout or something like that. They could have done something like that. But I just thought a mild You've got the bitters. You do a brown ale as well. And get a nice kind of like trifecta of traditional kind of working men's beer, you know. Plenty of flavour and body, and oh, it'd be just lovely. And then they come up with, oh, we'll do a golden ale. Because this is what the world needs. The world needs another fucking golden ale. What it needs is some good milds and some good brown ales and things like that, and some good bitters, and yeah, that's what you want. Just shows you what the hell's going on in this world. So let's break down the flavours of this wonderful golden ale that fellas thought that the world needed. Starts off with a bit of syrupiness. A little bit of light golden syrup, kind of tones. A little bit of sweetness to go along with it, and a little bit of grain. Moves on to the kind of mid-tongue, and the flavours are still there, but you're just getting little accents of citrus, just little accents. And again, it's kind of nondescript. It's not clear what type. It's not coming through as a grapefruit. It's just coming through like a kind of, like I say, kind of like a generic kind of citrus edge to it. And then halfway through the mid-tongue, that's when you start getting little pine accents coming through as well, that tend to kind of start to grow on you, like a fungus. Athlete's foot springs to me. And yeah, just moves on to the kind of end of the mid-tongue, getting a little bit more. And then moves on to the kind of back of the mouth, where it's there, but then it starts to kind of dissipate. So it kind of comes to a crescendo just as it moves on to the kind of back of the mouth, and then starts to dissipate through the aftertaste. It's not, I've had them obviously a lot more piney and a lot more sickening, but it's still enough just to kind of detract from the beer. It's a flavour I just do not like in beer. I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. I mean, other people might love it, great, but for me, no. It's not a flavour that, you know, I appreciate, you know, especially not in beer anyway. As an ice cream, oh, fuck it, I've been, yeah. You know, I'm fucking stupid sort of pine flavour, seriously. Of all the flavours you could pick, all the flavours in the world, why the hell would you want pine in your beer? But yeah, and then the flavours kind of dissipate in the aftertaste. They don't linger, they're fairly quick, but there is that little crescendo, and there is that little kind of final hurrah of the pine just before you swallow. And it just slightly lingers a bit, but not too much. It's fairly clean, but overall I feel it lacks a bit of body. It's toned down a bit after getting, you know, a few glugs and your mouth gets acclimatised, so it's not as bad as initially, but overall it's not one of Fuller's finest moments, and it's certainly not one of Fuller's finest products either. I'm not going to say that the ingredients are poor or whatever in that, because I'm sure they're probably using good ingredients. The only problem is the way the recipe is and everything else, they're not really standing out. So I can't really say for definite, because it's lacking kind of body. The flavour profiles is just not something I really want in a beer, especially a golden ale. And I'll be totally honest, I'm getting a bit sick of golden ales and blonde ales. I mean, they're now basically what they're trying to compete with pale ales and IPAs now and everything else, because it's getting ridiculous. So it is. Far too many of these type of beers being produced, and a lot of them are just mediocre rubbish. I'll be totally honest, and this is kind of following suit. It's kind of mediocre rubbish. It's not in the same vein as like London Pride, ESB, all these type of things, you know. It's just no. They make some nice products, but this certainly isn't one of them. It's. I never actually thought this about Fuller's. I always said that you can always appreciate. You might not like the beer, but you can always appreciate the quality of it and how well it's been brewed. Well, that's 2 in a row. I can say that I'm not particularly enamoured with, and I'm very disappointed. It's nowhere up anywhere near what I feel the usual standard is. And then yeah, what would I give this out of 10? Is a question. Well, I'll be totally not much. I just feel it's lacking in the good things and got a bit too much of the bad things. That's the best way to describe it. Would I recommend it? No. Would I buy it again? No. Which is unfortunate because how many bottles have I got left? I gave one away. Look at this one. Shit, that leaves me with 6. Right, I'll give them away as gifts. I think I'm going up to my sister's at some point in August. I think it is. I need to check what day it is or date. I'll keep some back. Take them there. It tastes Fuller's new beer. You'll love it. Because I certainly don't. Somebody's got to, so hopefully you might. You know, that type of thing. So on that basis, what would I give it out of 10? It's just a disappointment. But when I was reading the label, you know, when they were doing the initial kind of advertisement of it or announcement of it to pre-order, I did actually put up a post saying that I don't know about this one. I'm only really ordering it to review, really, because if I was ordering it, or I was thinking about ordering it to enjoy personally, then I wouldn't have. Just by going how it was described with, you know, zestiness and pininess and all. And I'm like, and then you're also looking at it, well, at 3.4%, and you're adding additional malt to try and bring body to the pale malt, and you're thinking, Cara Gold. Anyway, no, I think this is a disappointment, really. I'm going to give it a 3.5. 3.5 out of 10. I'm probably being generous, and I'm only doing that is because there's people out there that actually like these flavours, so they might actually enjoy this. This might be up the street, but for me, it certainly isn't. And let's be totally honest, it's lacking body. So even if you like pine flavours and citrus flavours and everything else, you can't deny that it's lacking body. And I think obviously even there's a slight kind of confession to that in the label by saying that we're adding Cara Gold and that type of stuff to help basically give it a bit of boost to the body, you know, because even though it's, you know, a low alcohol and that, it still has a decent amount of body. Well, no, it doesn't. And I've tasted well, a good example. Ruddle's Best has a lot more body and it's low alcohol, but in saying that though, it's using different malts and everything else, and of course it's using different hops and things like that, so the recipe is different and probably the ratio is different on that basis as well. Whereas this one, I think they've just got the recipe not quite right. For the style of hops for a start, I think that they've got them completely wrong, in my view. But from the kind of ratio of malts and body and everything else, I don't think the recipe is really kind of holding up. So yeah, 3.5 out of 10. I certainly wouldn't recommend it. I certainly wouldn't be buying it again. I'll be looking to offload what I've already got, because I certainly don't want to drink another bottle of this. Let's be totally honest, I'll be giving it away, or worst case scenario, I'll probably just put it down the sink, because really, it's a load of shit. I'll be totally honest, it's really quite disappointing. And that's 2 in a row, and I don't know what Fuller's is playing at. I mean, they're going in the wrong direction, and it's a worrying sign. But anyway, 3.5 out of 10, 3.4%, 500ml. God knows what it costs, but I'll be totally honest, it's too much. I mean, because it's crap. So, thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.